Welcome into sportsbookreview.com. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
This is the Valero Alamo Bowl preview. We're talking Texas and Colorado. Before we get started, head over to sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. We have an article and a video for every single bowl game this season, so do yourself a favor. Go ahead and check that out. There's also a link in the description of this video that goes directly to the article for this game. So, simple enough. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, that you like the video, and jump in the comments. We want to know which direction you are leaning. At the end of this video, we're going to tell you our picks for it, but we would love to hear yours as well. Texas and Colorado opened Texas minus 12.5 with a total of 64.5. It's down to Texas minus 10 with a total of 63.5. So the total is coming down a little bit. It's an ESPN game. It's a late game. Texas 6-3 on the season, 3-5-1 against the number, and that's typically the case. Texas gets overvalued a lot every year. 2-2-1 the last 5 games. Colorado 4-1 against the spread this year and straight up. Carl Durrell won Pac-12 Coach of the Year. I mean, they are.
I think you should have. I think that's the right choice.
Absolutely. Nobody expected anything out of Colorado this year. We've talked about it multiple times because Mel Tucker was hired in late February at Michigan State. So then Carl Durrell was hired in March after signing day, after all the pandemic stuff had already happened, and he didn't even get to meet his team until fall camp.
Put his staff together without meeting anybody in person at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think about. And yet the staff worked out pretty well.
They look pretty good in a world of chaos. It seems as if they thrived. They did well in the midst of chaos.
That's true. There are some teams that can handle adversity really, really well. Colorado appears to be one of those. Now, by nearly every statistical metric on offense and defense, Texas
should kill them.
Texas is the better football team.
Just should kill them.
I mean, there's just, there's no way that you would even think that Colorado would be favored in this game whatsoever. Now, there are ways that Colorado can win. Obviously, they have been able to put up points. Texas's defense, not great. Tom Herman, we'll go ahead and talk about that. 3-0 against the spread and straight up in bowl games.
Yes.
I mean, they get up for these games for whatever reason.
They usually get up for these games. Do you think there's any fight left in this Texas team with the way guys have kind of started dropping out quickly and Herman talking about, I'm looking for another job. I don't want to be here.
So let's talk about LSU right quick.
Okay.
After that Alabama game, bunch of opt-outs, seemed like they might just be done with the season. And then they came out and beat Florida. They came out and beat Ole Miss. They've got – sometimes it might be addition by subtraction. Okay,
but here's the problem. That coaching staff was intact at that point in time. And now you have a head coach that there's enough rumblings out there saying he's looking for the door. And it's really hard for those guys still in that locker room that are left to want to fight for that guy.
That's
you got a valid point. You knew – O was the guy. O's going to be here, and O can rally that LSU team those last 2 games. All right?
And so we wonder if Tom Herman can do that.
Is Tom Herman really looking for another job? I mean, that's the question, right? Because that was the report.
That's part of – there's been reports about that.
He wants out of Texas. Now, if I heard my head coach wants out of Texas – now, I would play hard for me because I'm a selfish bastard, and I would play hard for my teammates because they put trust in me to go out and do my job. But I ain't playing hard for that SOB.
That's okay. You have a valid point here. And that's what bowl games really are, right? Is trying to figure out
who wants to be there. We're playing psychologists here because every metric in the world tells you Texas should kill this team. It should be a 20-point line. The game opened at 12.5, and now it's down 10 across the board. You could get 9 if you want Texas. That seems crazy short to me.
But there's also the idea that Texas not very good at covering as a favorite, right? And that's kind of been the whole MO.
Yeah,
under
but in
Tom
bowl
Herman.
games they do. So that's this year as opposed to historically.
They've been underdogs 2 of the 3 years.
That's right.
So that's right. One thing is to fight when you're an underdog. It's
when
another
you're discredited when you're supposed to be the big guy. I'm going to roll Colorado. You know that. You know I like one team. I dislike the other.
Yeah.
But also I see a coach looking for a door, man, it's really hard for me to believe in that guy, in his preparation, in what he's trying to do there. I think he's got his agent on the phone saying, get me one of these good ass G5 jobs like Houston, and I can go back to doing that, and I'll be a rock star on that campus forever.
I mean, Boise's open now, so
I know. I mean, I'm literally thinking that when I saw the Boise job open, my first question was, is Fuente and Herman, do they say I'm really good at that big boy G5 job, and I could be a god on that campus for the rest of my life? After they've had the luxury of being at the
big school, at
the top of the top with the boosters and everything, now you just go back to the small place and say, you know what? It's a pretty good way to live. It's pretty good right. living.
So you're going to take Colorado.
I'm going to take Colorado. I think it's stupid, but I'm doing it.
Colorado was exposed by Utah their last time out.
Yes.
So what I wonder is, can Texas bully Colorado the same way that Utah did?
They should be able to.
I'm going to roll Texas, and I'll take the 9.
That's the right play, by the way.
Yeah.
There's not a part of the game where Colorado will have more talent than Texas on the field.
Exactly.
Not one single position group.
And maybe running back.
You think Texas has got some? I'm going to bet those running backs at Texas have 5 stars next to their name.
Oh, they do, but they have not been worth anything.
Yeah, just because they're not good, I'm just saying they're not rated as high.
That's true. Texas has got more talent. Texas,
how we measure talent, I'm telling you, Texas wins at every position group.
Yeah.
But give me a team where a coach that I think these players are fighting like hell for this guy.
Yeah, that's part of it. The other part of it,
I like fight.
I do wonder about Colorado just being tired of the season because they had to do so much to get there.
No, they had to do so much, but they also played a really short season. Like, it's okay for an ACC school or a Big 12 school to be sick of this because, hell, they'll play 12 games when it's all over with.
Yeah.
These guys are going to play 8. Who cares?
That's a valid point. Colorado has only played 5 games.
Give me a team with some fight in them, man. That's LSU had fight. We weren't supposed to hang with Florida. I'm telling you, that fight matters.
Fight does matter. I'm going to roll Texas the other way. I'll probably live to regret it because.
What do you think of the total? Because I have no feeling on this at all. None.
63.5
whatsoever.
So this is 63.5, assuming that Colorado can go back to putting up points the way that they did before that Utah game, right? Mm-hmm. I do think that they will put up more points on Texas than they did on Colorado.
Completely agree.
And I do think that Texas is going to put up more points on them than Utah did. So I don't trust Colorado's defense very much. So,
in order for Colorado to cover this line, I have to take the over, right?
Yes.
I don't think there's a world in which Colorado can cover and not go over.
Yeah. I
don't think that world exists, but maybe I'm wrong.
Sam Ehlinger is going to put up points in this game. It's his last game. I mean, we say it's his last. I mean, next year might be like his 7th season in Austin. Who knows?
He could come back.
He can come back. Everybody.
I'm a big advocate for guys coming back. By the way, running backs should never come back. Okay, their lifespan is so short. That's insane. Quarterbacks, unless you're going to be a first rounder, come back.
Yeah,
come back.
Do your thing. So yeah. I do think there will be points here. I like
Transfer
the over.
To LSU. We'll take it.
You're ridiculous. All right, so I'm rolling Texas. You're rolling Colorado. We're both going to take the over, I guess.
I think I have to take the over if I like Colorado. I need my Buffalo to keep scoring.
I can get with that. All right, for sportsbookreview.com, I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And we'll see you on the next one.